September committee meetings to order. I'm going to ask Mayor Brittain if he would introduce our speakers, please.
Commissioners, we're got the pleasure of hearing how Panther Creek Park operates and what the benefits that it brings to our community. And we have the Park Ranger, Jason Chadwell, here to present.
Good evening. I thank everybody for giving me this opportunity to come speak. Again, I am Jason Chadwell, the Park Manager of Panther Creek, and really just want to give you an overview on some of the accomplishments that we've had at the park in the last year and some of the new initiatives that are taking place at the park. Always like to mention our staff. We have a great staff at the park, and we, for the most part, work harmoniously together, and they work hard every day. And it's my pleasure to work with them. So I always want to give them a accolade. So I'll go ahead and jump right in here with some statistics, and don't necessarily know how this works.
You don't either.
I used to. You got it on the right side.
We have 9 full-time employees, and in the summer we have about 22 bring on extra lifeguards and seasonal purpose ranger and things. Okay, thank you guys. So just annual visitation, average yearly visitation over the last decade is 603,000 visitors per year. Last year in 2018, you'll notice we had a dip. We had only 544,000 visitors, and that's just an anomaly. I can't really explain it. I have no real reason for that. If you look back in 2014, we had 457,000 visitors. Reason for that was because we were having renovations in our campground, and we were having some issues with those renovations, and we just didn't have nearly the volume of campers that we did. But for 2018, I'm not certain. However, the numbers for this year, for 2019, already show that by the end of the year, we're going to exceed 600,000 visitors. Very likely we'll exceed and be well above 600,000. So our annual park revenue keeps going up from year to year, from fiscal year 16-17 over to fiscal year 18-19. We made $66,000 more. And part of the reason for that, or I guess the major reason for that, is because we had increases in camping fees. We raised the price to camp at the park, and also to go swimming at the park. That was the major reason. But also because we opened some revenue-generating operations, including a new campground store, and we started selling food concessions, the small food concessions. We have began offering fee-based programs to the public. In the past, any activity or program that you attended at the park was free. And we still offer free programs for the public, but each ranger now is also required to offer one fee-based program to the public each month. It may be like archery program, or a guided canoe float, or anything like beginning pottery making, that sort of thing. So those have all kind of factored into increasing our overall revenue at the park there. The campground just keeps getting more and more popular each year. Of course, you can see from 2016 to 2018, we made $61,000 more in 2018 than we did in 2016. Again, a lot of that is because we increased the fee to come camping. But also because really it's just become more popular, and our campground stays filled longer into the fall, and people start coming back earlier in the spring. And so that's one of the major reasons for that. The swimming pool, we made $45,000 this year, and that's more money than we've made in a year past. And part of that is because some of these revenue generating boosters here, ice cream sales, we brought in an ice cream freezer at the campground, and it has been a small gold mine. We made $3,240 in ice creams, and those are $2 ice creams. So we sold a lot of ice cream. Yes.
What do you charge for the camping and also the swimming, some of the things there?
So the camping, there's two rates for camping. Okay, it's the base rate, which is, it doesn't have, the only thing that, or the non-premium sites, they have everything but sewer. And those are $25 a night, okay? And the ones that have sewer are $32 a night. So that's you pay for the convenience.
That's the weekend too?
Yeah, it's at any time, at any time. The swimming year before last was $4 per adult to get in. Now it's $5. So they increased that by $1. So kind of, and that's across the board. That was like with all pools at all Tennessee state parks and all premium and non-premium campsites. It was across the board in all parks.
Is there a limit of days that you can stay at your campsite?
There is. In the summer months, you can stay 14 days. Then you're required to leave for 3, and you can come back. In the winter, November, December, January, and February, you can stay 28 days, can leave for 3, and then you can come back. So we do put a limit on that. Ice cream sales, evening swims. We would reopen the park in the evening after the regular scheduled hours of operation, so the swimmers could come back and swim for a few more hours in the evening. And then we offer 2 weeks of swim lessons, which generated $600. So we had a great year with the swimming pool. We just opened a campground store in mid-April. It's open Thursdays through Sundays until the end of October. It sells what you'd imagine: snacks, drinks, miscellaneous camping needs, ice, and certified firewood, which generated $4,935 revenue since opening in April. It is a good revenue generating operation, but more than that, it's just a service to campers. It's very convenient. You forget something from home, some of the aluminum foil or whatever, we have it right there at the camp store, especially ice and firewood. Those are our big sailors at the campground store. So we're pleased to have that new operation. Something that is in the works right now is a renovation of our tennis courts, which began last month. Renovations include resurfacing, painting the courts to include pickleball courts, if you're familiar with that. They're going to install a new fence around the courts and put up new posts and nets. The total cost of this project is $68,000. Our courts had not received any attention since 2010 when they were repainted. And if you had seen the courts prior to them beginning this new renovation, you would have known that they were in bad shape and really need some attention. So this is going to be a great new thing for the park, and it should be done at the end of this month, at the end of September. We're very pleased to have formed a partnership with JTech Automotive Corporation. JTech has donated $6,550 to the park by hosting the following fundraisers. In October of last year, they did a golf tournament benefit for the park, which generated $3,700. November of last year, they had a disc golf tournament at the disc golf course on the park. Made $750 from that. And then just last month, they sponsored a car show, which generated $2,600 revenue. So these funds have been used to renovate the landscaping at the lake observation platform and to purchase all supplies and materials for the Junior Ranger Camp, which we had in June of this year. So we're very, very pleased with that partnership and look forward to continuing in that. This is just a small project, but one that we kind of are excited about. So we'll soon acquire beehives and begin participating in the Tennessee State Park, or the Tennessee Honey Project. So this is a statewide initiative, and currently there are 18 parks throughout the state that have beehives and bee boxes. and Panther Creek will be number 19. And we have a young man who is an Eagle Scout candidate who is interested in this and has agreed to build and install four highs at the park for his Eagle Scout project. And so the benefit of this program is that it promotes pollination and environmental health in the parks, promotes an experiential learning opportunity for visitors, and produces sweet treats for park guests. Honey is sold in park gift shops. So once we get this program up and going, we will then be able to sell this honey at the park. So it's just kind of a neat little project that we're getting involved in. A couple of our big events in the summer months are for children. Our most popular that we've done for years is our Junior Ranger Camp. So we've conducted 19 Junior Ranger Camps since 2007 for about 380 children from within the area, mostly around Morristown. These camps are divided into theme days, which include Outdoor Skills Day, Aquatic Day, Conservation Day, Nature Study Day, and then they have a graduation party at the swimming pool. The camp was held June 10th through the 14th of this year, and the cost of the camp was paid for by JPEG, so we appreciate that. And this is it's just been for years a great opportunity for kids to get away from home, to come to the park for a few hours, play with other kids. And really, we do try to teach them a lot of outdoor skills and conservation and about the nature that surrounds them. So that was in June. In July, we had our Youth Boater Education Camp, which is fairly new to our park. We've only been conducting this camp since 2017. But since that time, we've had 36 participants in the Boater Education Camp. It includes instructions in boating education, drowning prevention, experience operating canoes, kayaks, paddleboards, powerboats, and sailboats. And we held the camp July 22nd through the 26th this past summer. It's just a great opportunity to teach kids about water safety and how to operate boats safely, and it's been a great program.
What are the age groups?
The age groups, around 7th grade, I don't know what age that is, 12, 13, I think most of them are around 12 or 13. And we limit it because of the amount of boats that we have available to about 12 participants.
Does that include day camp too?
The Junior Ranger Camp?
Yeah.
Junior Ranger Camp is from 10 to 14 years old, and we take 20 for that to do. A good thing, this Spirit of America is a nationwide organization, and they actually, our park system has a partnership with them. They supply us with boats and educational material to conduct these camps. So it's been a good partnership. And this Spirit of America camp is done in several state parks throughout Tennessee. So we are happy to get on board with that. Last slide here, a couple of upcoming events. The first is in September on the 28th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. is the National Public Lands Day Tennessee Serves event. This is just a volunteer opportunity. A lot of Tennessee Promise students will maybe get involved in this to get their service hours in. And they'll just go out, probably clear overgrowth along the farm trail, that sort of thing. Heritage Day will be October the 12th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Upper Campground Pavilion. This is our largest single-day event, and we have about 500 or 600 participants, or folks, visitors that attend this event. It's just a celebration of park history and local history, and we have bands and vendors and food trucks and historical reenactments and hay rides and things like that. It's just like a fall festival. It's a lot of fun. And then our Christmas in the Park event will be December 14th from 1 until 4, again at the Upper Campground Pavilion. And it's just a little rundown on some of the things that are taking place at the park. We had a very, very good year, very successful year, and I think we got a lot accomplished. There's my contact information. If anybody wants to get a hold of me for any reason, there's my cell phone number and my email address if you can see it. So I thank you guys for your time.
Are there any other questions?
I
I just want to thank you for what you do. It's a gem in our county, no doubt, but I was curious on the camping
Yes.
or visitation. Is there some type of ratio between local and out of area that you know of? I mean, how much is it bringing in from out of town?
I have given this some thought. It's not in any way like scientific or anything, but I'd say about 50% of our visitation is local, like within 25, 30 miles. And then another 20% is a broader region, like coming in from Johnson City or Knoxville. And then the remaining 30% are like Illinois and West Virginia for that. That's just through general observation, but like I think half of our campers are fairly local people.
Anybody else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much. This time, we'll turn it over to Chairman Randy DeBoer, Chairman of the Finance Committee.
I'd like to call the Finance Committee to order. Do we have any visitors wishing to speak to the committee?
Be some. I come to you tonight to thank you for your support in the past. I can report that I've got a marker out at the Liberty Tree now. It's a granite marker that describes what the Liberty Tree is, and it should be a very nice addition. But that's a completed project. Now we'll move to the other project that's not completed, the Veterans Memorial. I come with a heavy heart to have to ask for some money. The gods have not smiled on me in this arena because I've gone to businesses all over town and tried to raise money and have had very, very little success, much less than I expected. So we've raised about $60,000. This past weekend I went to Lowe's and stood out in front of Lowe's with a bucket, and we raised $1,500 there. So we're still on the hunt, but we want to try to bring this thing to fruition. I've already paid for the monument, which is here at the courthouse already. Paid for benches. We've already paid for 800 bricks. We're well underway, but we're going to have to put up flagpoles, lighting, and pay the contractor. So we're going to have a shortfall. So I'm coming tonight with hat in hand, and sorry to have to ask, but we want to need a little help. We want to, keep talking about moving this thing to next year, and I can't do this thing anymore. I've done this thing for 4 years, and I can't do more than 4 more years. I've got to get this thing in the ground.
What you looking for?
We're looking at $20,000. That'll pay the contractor and finish up the things that need to be done. But any questions about the project? Yes.
I may have missed it in your speech, but how much did you short?
About $20,000.
How many bricks have you?
800. And I guess I signed up another 50 bricks this past weekend. So but there's going to be plenty of room. We made the circle big enough that we're putting blank bricks in the one that fill up the circle. And then as we sell bricks, we'll bring them in and put them in those empty spaces. So we're going to have at least 800, maybe more bricks. Any other questions about the project? We've been working hard. Like I said, I'm here with hat in hand. I didn't want to come here and ask you all for money. I didn't expect to, but we just didn't get the reaction we expected from the community. I went to every contractor in town and begged for money and got no response. So I'm here tonight looking for some help. But thank you all for your time and your consideration.
Mr. Chairman, when would it be appropriate to deal with the motion? Under new business?
I would think so.
Okay. Thank you.
Language Shipley, thank you.
Okay, in your packets, item number 2, the recurring business. I'm sorry.
My name is Linda Noe, 2343 Joe Stevens Road. This is one of those things where when you put your card before the horse, you end up in a situation like this. And it's sad and it's unfortunate, because I think we all want that Veterans Memorial. Wouldn't this be a really nice time to have that money that we're spending on the city's building over there, putting cable in for them to spend this and have this money for this project for the county? Or to take many of the other monies that you gave away just a few months ago during the budget time and be able to actually provide for this project. But again, it's like the jail, it's cart before the horse, it's let's start before we know where the money's coming from, how much money we have, and then we give it away to other organizations. That is a shame. That is a shame. And if that money has not been spent on Rose Center, a city-owned building, you should vote to pull that money back and apply it to this project. Thank you.
Any other visitors wishing to address the committee? If not, in item number 2, you've had a chance to review the monthly checks. Do we have a motion for the acceptance of the monthly checks as presented?
So moved.
Got a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
A second, Mike Minnick. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. In old business, we have none. In new business, on 4A, budget amendments, item 1, Fund 101, Sheriff's Department for $10,350. Ms. Hurst?
Back during the budget process, E911 came and discussed the fact that they would be redoing their whole communication system. And as part of that, there was going to be an interface with the Sheriff's Department communication system. And this is the first step with that. This is, they came with a check in hand and also an invoice in hand. And this is to put that money into our budget to pay for the interface and between the new E911 communication system and the Sheriff's Department communication system and software. So this is, again, to pay for that. And there's already been work done with PTS, which is the county's vendor, to see what it would cost to interface with the new E911 system and plan for that.
Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second? We've got a motion, and then Taylor Ward is second. Do we have any discussion? If not, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Item 4A2, Fund 101, Circuit Court for $50.
Back a few months ago, Hamlin County basically hosted an out-of-county trial for Hancock County. And as part of some of the jury and witness fees, this was a reimbursement for $50 of that expense. More has been reimbursed, but this was a specific $50 payment that Hancock County made to reimburse Hamlin County. We're putting it back in the circuit court line item.
Do you have a motion for approval? A motion, Taylor Ward, is second?
Second.
Tim? Any discussion?
Who was the second? Sorry.
I'll second.
Oh, Tim's on. Yes. Tim second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Item 4A, Fund 101, number 3, Fund 101, Circuit Court for $1,670. Ms. Hurst?
This is to put money into the data processing line item of circuit court. And the money is coming for their reserve for automation line item. These are funds reserved just for automation and upgrades to the circuit court. These funds are to upgrade and to comply with the recommendations from the local government audit team during their preliminary audit work in that department. We've all been undergoing the preliminary audit from a state for this, and this has to do with upgrading for data storage.
Do you have a presentation, I have a motion from Jim Stepp, do we have a second? Yes. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Item 4A4, Fund 101 for County Clerk, $25,000. Commissioners?
Again, this is to put money into the data processing equipment line item of the county clerk. Again, it comes from their restricted line item for funds that are accumulated, for data processing needs. And this is to upgrade their equipment, 15 computers, related software. And this is to come into compliance with the new Windows 10 update. Within this next few months, Windows 10, Microsoft will not be supporting Windows 10 anymore, and they need to upgrade their equipment in order to comply with the.
Do you have a motion for acceptance?
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Item,
That's it.
that's it, thank you. Item 4B has been withdrawn, so that's not even to be voted on now. And then item 4C, notification of invitation to bid for a convenience center. Mayor Brittain?
This is just to let you guys know that we have out bid documents for the convenience center, which will be built at the landfill campus, and is being funded half by the landfill and half by Tennessee State grant through the Department of Environment and Conservation. And the county's involved because the grant is to us. And so we have a bid package out now for the convenience center, which includes paving and fencing for the areas where the containers that will hold the recycled material will be. The bid opening is the 16th, and the county commission meets on the 19th. And so we will present the bid results at the county commission meeting.
That's a grant. Is that the grant that's in the paper tonight? There's a grant in there for the...
Is that the home grant? I'm not sure. I haven't seen the newspaper.
He's in the front page tonight in the paper, I believe, the grant. I don't know if
Is
that's
that the home grant?
Or
Is the home grant? Okay. That's the home grant is a Tennessee Housing Development Association grant that the county was given to rehabilitate low-income housing. That's what that was for, and I think that's what was in the newspaper tonight. They had a public hearing last Thursday.
I didn't get to read it, but I don't.
Okay.
For another scale, we way scale.
This grant will pay for a gate. The landfill is, the solid waste system is installing a new scale. Yes. Yeah. But the grant,
Do we have a motion for approval?
Motion.
Second.
And a second. Cool. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition, like sign? Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the request for the Veterans Memorial and take it out of fund balance.
Got a motion to approve? Got a second from Mr. Minnick? Any questions, discussion? If not, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition, like sign? Motion carries. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Personnel Committee, Chairman Thomas Doty, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I call the Personnel Committee to order. If any visitors wishing to address this committee? Seeing none, we'll move on. Old business, there's none. New business, item 4A, we have the approval of education and longevity pay submissions. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. There being no other items, that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Doty. At this time, we'll recognize the Public Service Committee, Chairman Tim Goins.
I call the Public Service Committee to order. Any visitors wishing to address the committee? No? Okay, the item number 4, surplus items, IT department. Is Jeff here?
I'll speak
You
to it.
speak to that? Okay.
Chairman. These are items that, what we've been trying to do, and with the help of departments in the Justice Center, is clean out material in the attic of the Justice Center, and this is some computer equipment that was stored in the attic, and so we're just surplusing it so we can sell it.
Is this stuff that's been sitting around, or is it just stuff that just all at once? Or?
Now this, I'm pretty sure this has been cycled in and out of the offices, but it's been there for a while, I believe.
Okay.
Is it any good?
I don't know, Wayne. I mean, we'll find out when we
It
sell it.
must be good being we kept it all this time.
Well, we have to surplus it, and then what we'll do is we'll probably sell it as a lot online, and we've been very pleased with the results that we've gotten in selling items on. The website's called Gov Deals, and we've been very pleased.
Are those hard drives removed before?
Yes. Yes.
And destroyed properly?
Yes.
Okay, there's 15 items that's in the next page of your book. I don't think I need to read them all. Do I have a motion? Motion, second? Second. All in favor? Say aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Chairman, that's all I have.
Thank you, Chairman Goins. At this time, we'll recognize the Jail Study Committee, Chairman Taylor Ward.
Call the Jail Study Committee to order. Anyone wishing to address the group? Seeing none, we'll move on to old business, and this time, Bill, would you mind to explain where we are on the design team update?
In your packet is an update on where we are as far as the design team is concerned. We've made some progress in the last month since I submitted the last update. The last concept that Mosley Architects submitted to Commissioner Goins, or Commissioner Long and myself, was for about 170,000 square feet. And it included a lot of the items that Scotty and I had talked to them about. And I mentioned it last month where one design was going to be too costly, another design was not enough. And then this is the fourth one that came along. It's about 150 new beds, 3 courtrooms, a clerk space, room for the community corrections program, and for the jail administration is in the building as well. And so that's the concept that is being looked at right now by the design team. The jail administration, the corrections program, and the courts will review it, and then you'll have the, well, let's see, first it's the jail. The jail folks will review its part of it. And this concept that we're talking about, it has 1 floor for the court system, and then 3 floors of housing. And to meet the 550 new bed number. And so we'll have the court system review its part of it, and the jail folks review their part of it. And then we're also talking on financing issues as well on that. And then we'll bring the results back to you. Tennessee Corrections Institute, TCI, is involved in this process. CTAS is also involved in this process. So we're getting a lot of input that we'll submit to you guys. On page 2 of the update is Our property acquisition will be closing on the property that you authorized to purchase. We'll be closing on that this week, this month. And then we got word this afternoon that the financing option for the interfund loan capital outlay note was approved by the State Comptroller's Office, and we got that letter today. So we'll be able to pay our design bills and buy the property this month. So that's where we are.
Mayor, when do you think you'll have a report from the design team?
We meet this week, and once we see how that goes, then we'll know better. And then I'm also talking to our financial advisor to talk about how to pay for anything we design, as well as the schools, and we'll then present that at the same time on how to pay for it.
Question, 170,000 square feet, how many dollars we talking?
Right now, we're estimating, or the estimates we've gotten is around $60 million.
60 million.
In that neighborhood.
Okay, 3 courtrooms, we had 2 before.
2 courtrooms and a multi-purpose room.
And you've added?
And we've converted the multi-purpose room to a small courtroom for juvenile court and Division II Sessions Court, which uses smaller courtrooms.
So you're going to have 3 new courtrooms in there. Are you going to have any courtrooms in the old Justice Center?
We won't, when this building is complete, the concept we're working on right now, Wayne, there would not be any court in that building, except unless, let's say, circuit court needed a courtroom that wasn't available. What we're trying to do is, in the concept that we'll present, is put together a 40-year fix, a 40 to 50-year fix, so that mayors and county commissioners that follow us will not have to deal with this for another 40 years. And so that's why part of the reason that the multi-purpose room was in this concept converted to a courtroom.
In the old Justice Center now, you've got 2 courtrooms.
Correct.
So you're going to the new jail with 3. So
Correct.
you're actually gaining 1 jail, 1 courtroom in that whole thing.
You're moving juvenile court and general sessions 2 from this building over there.
Okay.
That's what you're doing.
So
You're
there's
consolidating the court systems, you're consolidating the clerk's operation, and you're putting all of that together.
That's where most of it's at, in clerk's operation.
That's part of it.
That's where most of it's at.
What do you mean most?
Well, if you're going 3 courtrooms in the new jail and not having any courtrooms in the old facility, it's all going to be used for office space.
No, Wayne, the future plan that hopefully we get to put together out the back of this building will be where they grow more beds, more cells later, which would be the old building, gone.
Old building's gone.
Well, what will be your future growth?
But it's going to be gone once we get the new one built.
No.
It ain't gone. It ain't gone, but that's the vision.
The vision, the 15 to 20-year vision, is that if and when there's more jail space that's needed, you remove the building that we have now and you build there. That's what we're working toward. So that it's not just a 10-year fix, that this is a 40-year fix, and that we take a visionary look and we look out ahead in the future, and so that's what we'll come back with, and we'll have all the details.
You'll have Sessions and Duggar and Juvenile in the new.
And Circuit too, which is Duggar.
Duggar's, yeah.
Duggar and the other circuit judges.
The other circuit will fill in when Duggar's not.
Correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
But you have none in the old facility.
That's correct.
So you've got 3 courtrooms.
And in the old facility,
in this building here, you've got 3.
well, you've got this. This one is really in my opinion, this is the only legitimate courtroom we have. The other 2 are too small.
Well, I know in juvenile, you can't have so many people, like the parents is all that can be in there.
Right, and
You don't have to have a building this big for juvenile.
And that, we've taken that into
Mr.
account in the new
Smith,
building.
on average, 30 to 40 cases per juvenile court date, and you have to house all those people somewhere when they're having it. They cannot be in the courtroom, they cannot be near an earshot.
Cannot be in the courtroom.
They
Right,
cannot
right.
be. But you still have to have somewhere for them. So one little bitty room doesn't do it. They can't be standing in the halls disrupting all the
That's
business.
just what I
So
said, you've got
they're having
just-
another place
just-
for them.
Just the juvenile plus his parents. Is all it can be in the courtroom.
That one courtroom, that's
Okay.
just been passed recently.
That's right, no, you're right.
But
But
housing,
you still have to have somewhere for all the other cases that
housing
become that day.
juveniles can be, you can't put a juvenile in jail.
No, sir, you cannot.
You can't. Where you gonna house them?
We have the temporary holding facility we would keep, where we house them. And then the long termer, the ones that we have to keep over 72 hours, we send to Knoxville. We do that now. To Richard Bean.
So you won't be using the courtroom, the bottom of the steps over here, where Janice is now. You won't be using that courtroom.
Not in the concept that we're working on right now.
And you won't be using the one out here that the planning commission uses.
That's correct.
Where's the planning commission gonna have their meetings at?
They can meet in here. This could be a meeting room in the Chancery courtroom.
So what's the plan for those courtrooms?
We don't have any right now. We focused on the new building to this point.
That's 60 million you're looking at.
Yes, sir.
Now, the current facility over there will still house the sheriff's department, the sheriff's offices and his department.
Juvenile court services, and we're looking at to see if the sheriff's department could, in the expansion plans, if the sheriff's department could be added to the new building. We haven't gotten there yet, but we're looking to see if that could be added to the new building as well.
The new building now.
Well, we would look at it now, we would plan on it now, and whether we build it now or build it later. But so it would be in the plan.
That's going to increase the cost.
Yes.
How many more beds is $60 million going to buy us?
It'd be 550 minus 250, 300.
300 more beds? The way Hamilton County is growing, don't you think there's a and surrounding areas, not in Hamilton County, don't you think there's a possibility that you're talking 40 years can be brought down to 20 years, maybe even 15 years?
It could.
Because the fact is, the more people you have in the community, the more crime you're going to have.
It could. And in the numbers that we're looking at on the financing side, is there would be funds available. There would be funds available or capacity available in our debt service to borrow to build an expansion of the jail in about 15 years.
That's including that 60 million, or addition to?
No, in addition to the 60.
And we send how many juveniles on the average do we send in Knoxville?
Not a whole lot. I can't answer that.
What's the cost of that?
About 100 and used to be $125 a day, maybe 150 now.
There's no way we can, since we're spending all these millions of dollars, that we can include juvenile into that, where we don't have to send them out.
Well,
Because not only does it cost us $150 a day, we've got to have a law enforcement officer take them down there and back.
we had it was probably 6 years ago, maybe 7, is when we staffed juvenile temporary full-time, 24/7. And we stopped that because, we were spending $300,000 on staffing for well, that's probably an exaggeration. We were spending several, it was over $100,000.
So you're saying it wasn't paid?
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. Not with staffing and building and all that.
And you can't have a juvenile facility connected in any way, shape, form, or fashion to it.
My understanding, half these buildings ain't gonna be connected anyway.
You have to have some connection, but
Bill, if you got a breakdown on this, I know that you're looking at 550 new beds.
Correct.
How much is that gonna cost?
300 new beds.
How much will the 3 courtrooms and the space for circuit court clerk offices
We'll have all that,
It'll be
once we
broken
get to
down?
it, we'll have it all broken down, yes, sir. We will, we'll have it all broken down.
When can we expect that?
It depends on our meeting this week, what progress we make with the jail staff and the court folks.
Are you still on the one side of Allison, or you jump the street?
We are, right now, the concept closes Allison Street.
It's closing Allison, building on the other side of Allison.
No, it's exactly into Allison.
Right.
Why would you close Allison?
The main structures are on the block that we own, that's clear, the main structures are. And then you have the entrance, crosses Allison Street a little bit, and then as you go down Allison Street, there's some parking right in there.
So no buildings are planned right now for as you go down the left-hand side of Allison, behind the rescue squad.
Not right now at this moment.
Nothing is planned, still all that parking, right?
Right, and the plans do not include purchasing the rescue squad building.
Does not.
And we don't, and there's some other pieces of property we have to purchase.
Right, and we're working on it.
We're working on it, okay.
Provision's been made with the architects to, design this thing so that we can eventually get up to 600 to 800 beds on the property that we have.
Yes, that would be part of demolishing the existing building and spreading that way.
This one, the core's, what, 650, 700? What the core is built for. You just have to add beds.
Make sure we got room to do
Well, you got room.
It's still gonna be 3 stories, planned to be 3 stories?
Right now.
But
If-
let me correct the bill on that. We're correct if we get in that in what? 3 stories above ground.
Yes.
There will be a mini basement, which would be the entry.
Yeah, it's
Sally port.
Yeah. So in essence, four levels
Right.
or
They call it
underground.
4, so
Yeah.
if he says 4, that means 3, what you're gonna be seeing.
Yeah.
And Sally port and the booking intake.
Yeah.
As we all know, the most expensive thing about building a jail is employees. How many more employees are we gonna have to hire?
We haven't done the jail staffing yet. That's what Jim Hart will do.
Okay.
That's part of the process.
It will take more.
I
It'll take a lot
appreciate
more.
this
It'll take a whole
information,
lot.
It's
Bill.
gonna take more.
We finally
They're
get
understaffed
some,
now.
maybe.
Yeah.
To the past.
It's just, thank just for the report. That's it, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Thank you, Bill. Any new business come before the body? No items of interest? Anything else from you, Mr. Chairman?
No. Appreciate your report,
Thank you, sir.
Chairman of the Board.